this Wednesday morning, November 12th. Thank you for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. Dan is off. We do have a lot to get to this morning, but we first want to get a look at some of the news you need to know.
So there are major changes coming to Marketplace Mall in Henrietta. In a statement, the mall owner, Wilmerite, said it is working to relocate existing tenants that have interior-only entrances. They would be moved to locations at the company's other properties. Some businesses tell 13 WHAM they have to be out by the end of next year, but Wilmerite did not confirm.
Also this morning, a stretch of Culver Road near Clifford Avenue in Rochester remains closed after a water main break. About 30 homes and businesses were impacted when a pipe burst. You can see rushing water filling the streets and even flooding basements and yards. The water is back on, but the city says people should run their water for 5 minutes to flush out the pipes before using.
And did you get a chance to see this? The Northern Lights making an appearance in our area. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration issued a severe G4 geomagnetic storm watch in effect today. Meantime, people were able to see the green, red, and purple lights. These photos sent to us from Karen, who sent us what she was able to spot. Karen, thanks so much for sending that to us.
Well, let's get a look at what we have brewing for the next 2 hours. At 8:30, it is Wealth Wednesday. How giving more this holiday season can help you when it's time to file your taxes.
And coming up in the next hour, an ultimate 80s party for a good cause. How you can enjoy a blast from the past while supporting the Rochester Hearing and Speech Center.
And later, Barry Bostwick from the Rocky Horror Picture Show is headed to Rochester. But before that, he took some time to talk with us. We'll show you that interview.
All right, before all of that, let's switch gears. A look at the forecast this Wednesday morning. Meteorologist Marty Snyder is tracking a little bit of snow, followed by a little bit of rain. Marty?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything today, but we will be going back into that above freezing territory. So again, that is going to work in our favor. And you can see that precipitation as it is passing through at this point. We're seeing a little more of a focus to the west, some of that driven by some lake effect that's coming in off Lake Erie, causing at least some rain and or snow for some areas to our west. Notice how it's trying to stay in the form of snow now, but that is not going to be the case for the entire day. We're going to see that begin to change over as that band approaches Rochester and makes its way through. And I think eventually we'll just change over to a few rain showers after starting off with, as you can see, a couple snow showers out there. Visibility pretty good, so you notice it's not really any concentrated amount of snow that's out there, but still a few snow showers in the air. 30s to start the day, and we're going to hold in that 30s range for the short term, but above freezing. We'll get back to about 40 at noon, 42 as we head through the afternoon. So we'll get above freezing with that change over to rain showers from snow showers. 35 tonight, so we'll hit pretty close to a lot of these average lows, but a lot of the highs in the afternoon still well shy of the average. A lot of 40s for highs for the rest of the week. Average high not too far from 50 this time of year, so staying on the cool side, but I think gradually a few of these upcoming days may begin to offer a little more sunshine than what we have been seeing recently. But today, again, it's that snow shower activity changing over to some rain shower activity, so we'll still see a few of those showers out there today.
Steph, thoughts?
I'm glad that it's turning into rain. That's not
Positive.
so bad. Yeah.
It's going to be all right. Marty, not the best news, but it's pretty typical for this time of year. I mean, I know cooler than what we normally see, but I feel like you just kind of assume that November isn't always going to be a 10 out of 10 kind of month.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that. You got to lower your expectations a little bit this time of year. Like I said, I think some upcoming days may offer a few more breaks of sun working in, but as we all know, it's kind of tough to get that sunshine to work in this time of year, too.
Yeah. Got to soak it up while it's here, right?
Carpe diem.
All right, Marty, thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's go off the top now. We'll start with some stories that have piqued our interest. I'll start things off today. It is that time of year. I'm not quite talking about the holiday season. I'm talking about the big release of Oprah's favorite things list. Now, it's not the way it used to be. Were you kind of aware or conscious while Oprah was doing the big gift giveaway?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know what I'm talking about. But there was no big grand release in front of a live studio audience. There is no gift hiding under anyone's seat, although it would be nice. I'm not going to call it anticlimactic, but it's maybe not as magical as it used to be. That being said, her favorite things list has been released, and the items are luxurious and glamorous, maybe more so than ever before. On her website, Oprah said, each year, quote, I search for gifts that feel just right. I hope these gifts will help you celebrate the people who light up your life and maybe add a little sparkle to your own. The gifts, she says, are for everyone, even those who say, hey, I don't need anything this year. So let's take a look at some of the items on her favorite things. Categories on the website are all broken down and relatively easy to find. Tabs titled cozy, stylish, travel, food, so on and so forth. They have their own items listed right underneath, ranging in price, but let's be real, they are pretty pricey. Up first, like right on the first page of the website at the top, high-heeled sneakers going for $595. They were made by the founder of the brand Spanx, so you're gonna be paying a pretty penny for these kicks. Spanx items are expensive to begin with, but I mean, almost $600 for high-heeled sneakers? I don't care if you think they're cute or not, that's a lot of money. Also on the list, and again with a very, very large price tag, a weighted blanket. We had that pop up on the screen just a couple seconds ago. That blanket going for almost $400. I'm sorry, I better get the best night's sleep ever if I'm buying that thing. There are some items that are maybe a little more affordable on the list. There's a jewelry travel case for $16, a $25 toiletry bag, also food gift sets ranging in price from about $20, $30 to $60. There's like a cookie basket. There's like a pretzel basket. They have like all different kinds. Gifts for kids, pets, and even the people that you really don't even know that well, but you still have to get them a gift anyway. My opinion, some of the coolest items on Oprah's favorite things list, the Ninja Creamy Scoop and Swirl ice cream machine for the low, low price, and I'd call it a bargain, of $380.
Yeah.
There's also the Nema cold press juicer, that one, $600, and also an electric flosser for just under $160. I really want that.
Yeah.
These are items I will certainly never be able to afford, and I will not be asking for them, but it is fun to kind of dream and just take a look, right? I could go on a whole rant about consumerism and spending money, and trust me, there will be plenty of time for all of that. But there's nothing wrong with getting someone a little gift for the holiday season. Be smart about your money and make sure that you're spending about the same amount on one another. But otherwise, have a little fun. Scroll through the list, get some ideas, and maybe a little bit of inspiration too.
Yeah, those are all really great gifts. You know,
They're so expensive,
yeah,
Steph.
they are, and
Come
you
on
can
now.
find some dupes out there. It's good for inspiration.
So I was gonna write about that, and I was like, well, I'm running low on time. Yes, get some inspiration, and then I always like to, look up whatever. Electric flosser.
Yeah.
Sort by lowest price.
Yeah.
And that's how I go.
Use the filters. They're there for a reason. No
Yeah.
shame,
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I love giving gifts. It's like my love language.
Yeah.
There's nothing I love more than finding something that I think is perfect for a person and, giving it to them. It's my love language for sure.
There was an air fryer that I got from my sister. She had been talking about it for a while, and I was like, I'll just get it for her. She still uses it to this day, but I have the reaction recorded, and it's my favorite thing that I've given, but also my favorite reaction that I've received from a gift.
It's even better than receiving one yourself, right?
Yes.
Very good.
All right, we'll turn now to my story. The voices of some of your favorite actors may appear in projects without them having to head to a studio. Now, Michael Caine and even Liza Minnelli are among the celebrities partnering with AI company called 11 Labs to replicate their voices. It's all part of their iconic voice marketplace. According to Deadline, Caine's voice will be used on the 11 Reader app to narrate books, articles, and PDFs. He says he's lent his voice to stories that moved people, and now he's helping others find theirs. And I believe that he is 92 years old. He goes on to say, it's not about replacing voices, it's about amplifying them, opening doors for new storytellers everywhere. Now, that's the statement he provided by the company to publication Variety. The voices of late actors like Judy Garland will also be available through the marketplace. Other iconic names listed by Deadline are Maya Angelou, Babe Ruth, Mark Twain, and even Amelia Earhart.
Wow.
Yeah. Users, likely creative teams and companies, will have to submit a request for voices, and then they're matched with a rights holder once an agreement is reached. So that's different offline. 11 Labs will deliver the request. It's an element the company sees as a way to address an ethical challenge around AI. Matthew McConaughey also invested an unknown amount into 11 Labs, but he's not part of this marketplace. He's been working with the company since 2022. In a statement, he said, quote, "I've been impressed by how the 11 Labs team has taken the magic of the core technology and turned it into products that creators, enterprises, and storytellers use daily." Now, McConaughey is planning to use the AI to make a Spanish version of his newsletter called Lyrics of Livin'. He's encouraging people working on voice technology to keep going, but not everyone is impressed. One commenter under Variety's article, Brian, says, quote, "We'll kill the industry. Soon it'll be a machine in a room barfing out all entertainment while folks starve in the street with humanity and creativity in the rearview mirror." So very harsh over there. Another person, JR, says, quote, "Let the next generation find their own voices and add to the most famous voices in the world. What a quick way to stagnate a field." So what do you think? Open question for everyone. Should current celebrities allow AI to replicate their voices, or could it hurt rising artists?
You know, I don't see like a glaring problem with it. I guess my question is why? Why are we putting all this time and energy into it? I mean, I don't think that, Matthew McConaughey or any of them are really like strapped for cash right now.
Yeah.
Just an assumption. But also, is it really going to make that much of a difference if you have Judy Garland? What are they using the voices for?
It depends. It could be a range of projects. For Michael Caine, it would typically be for like audiobooks, basically.
Yeah. So like, is it really going to make that much of a difference? Am I going to scroll through, whatever, Amazon Audible and look for the right narrator for my book and I see it's Judy Garland and I'm like, yes, I'm purchasing it. Yes, 1,000,000%. Will people actually do that? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I do think that one individual made a really good point though. It's, let somebody else have their shot at it. You may find the next Judy Garland or, I don't know who else, Matthew McConaughey. You never know. But
exactly.
AI is getting freaky. Do you remember? And this wasn't AI. I think it was like pre-recorded. Do you remember when you could pick certain voices for your GPS, and you could have like Ellen? Or you could have, I can't remember who else. I just remember she was one of them, and I thought it was like the funniest thing.
Well, she had to like go in and like record something so they could. Well,
On Waze, you can even have your own voice. Like my friend uses me as the directions sometimes.
Okay, you can use your own self for Waze. Interesting. By the time I'm done with work, I can't stand the sound of my own voice. So it's a hard no from me on that one.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to hear what I sound like to other people, but at the end of the day, I feel like the actors participating in this are trying to enter an industry that is growing, and so I guess trying to find a way to, I don't know if it's leave their mark a little bit more, but it's new, it's growing, and they're like, let me have a hand in this.
Yeah. All right. Hey, coming up on Arc Rochester, Chris Lopez is checking out Habitat for Humanity's Restore, selling high-quality home items at a fraction of the price.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it, so take us with you. You can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We are back after this.
8:15, welcome back. Most people want nice furniture in their homes, but a lot of people don't want to pay those sky-high prices for those items.
Now, if that's you, you may want to head to a Habitat for Humanity Restore, which offers high-quality furniture at a fraction of the price. Our Chris Lopez is live for us this morning, showing us what they have to offer. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are talking about bedroom, study, living room furniture. Check this out. So you may be thinking that, okay, everything is going to be secondhand. Everything is going to be used. Some of the stuff, however, is brand new. This is brand new Ashley here from the furniture store. This goes for $400. Now, I didn't look up the exact make or the model on this here, but you can pretty much count on everything being about 50% off. So this would probably run you, we'll say, $750. So you're getting a good chunk of that price off here. It's in great condition, just like everything else. Everything is very high quality here. Nothing is cheap. Dan Petronio, he is the manager or the director of all of the stores, Canandaigua, Henrietta, and the Webster location. We're talking furniture. This is great stuff here.
It's good quality, most of it solid wood, not the press board that's going to fall apart. And prices, like you said, anything that comes in brand new, usually roughly 50% off what you would have paid at a big box store. And you get some great deals and quality furniture.
And you guys are, I do want to point one thing out before I forget. You guys are discounted already, right? This is all great prices. For veterans, first responders, you offer more of a discount.
Yep, we offer a 10% discount to veterans every day just by showing an ID. Thursdays, it goes to 15% for veterans and first responders. We also partner with organizations like the Marine Coordinating Council and Sonny Mike and other veteran organizations that do help veterans who need assistance to be able to afford product to have a livable environment.
And are you seeing more people come in here in the past, we'll say 6 months or a year? Are you seeing also more donations? Are you seeing less donations and more people?
We're seeing both.
Okay.
A lot more donations, not only the ones we pick up, but also people will carry things in, and they can do that anytime one of our stores is open. And the traffic of people coming in because of tariffs on a lot of the brand new furniture, appliances, items like that, we don't have anything affecting us like that here with donated items, so you could get good quality stuff at a much more affordable price.
And said since 2020, furniture prices as a whole, 25%. They're up 25% over the past 5 years. No one has gotten a 25% raise, at least no one that I know. So that's pretty expensive. You guys, however, I do want to point out that if something isn't selling, you guys start to mark it down. So if it just arrived, it's going to come, we'll say, at that $800. And then after that, it hasn't sold.
Yeah, the longer something's sitting here, the bigger the discount we take. We usually adjust those every couple weeks or so. So if you see something that you don't think you can afford today, if it's still here 2 weeks from now, it's
lucky.
Discounted. If it's still here a few weeks after that, you get even more lucky. But things fly in and out real quick, so you take your chance and gamble a little bit that it's still going to be here when the price goes down a little more.
And I got to point one. He's not watching. He's on vacation. However, he has a standing desk. He happens to sit down at that standing desk. So Dan, 100 buckaroonies for this here. This is nice. This will be, this doesn't lower down at all. You have to stand on this right here. And you're not wasting a standing desk, my friend. I know you're not watching, but we'll relay the message when you come back on Monday. Back to you guys in studio. We're going to be showing you guys, we're going to be talking about the critical construction that they do coming up next on Arc Rochester.
He's not even
it's
here right now, Chris. He's not even here. You know he's not watching.
Yeah.
There's no point in this. And you didn't even answer me about the countertops. So it's fine.
He said he was going to the kitchen for the last
Are you
hit.
talking butcher block countertops?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm looking for.
Couldn't find them. So instead, I take that opportunity to roast Daniel.
That's fine, I guess. It's good. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, stick around. Meteorologist Mark McLean joins us with this morning's forecast and weather trivia.
It's unfair. Dan is everybody's favorite. We just want to be somebody's favorite. We'll be right back.
6:23. Welcome back. Meteorologist Mark McLean joining us now with a look at today's colder temperatures. I would say slightly warmer than yesterday.
It's above the freezing point of water.
Hey,
Right.
Does that count?
Water.
I mean, at least it's not sticking to everything out there. So slight improvement there. And, looking down the road, the temperature does go up a little bit more and more. But, we were talking about the auroras there.
Yeah.
The northern lights and otherworldly things. And it got me thinking, it's easy to distract me, okay? and weather trivia today is gonna take that angle. Okay. The Voyager spacecraft, or space satellites, fascinate me. It is now going to be the first human object, Voyager 1, to reach 1 light day from Earth this week. A light day. How far is the satellite from Earth now? And I'll give you a hint. Light travels at 186,200 miles per second.
Okay.
And this is 1 light day. Okay, so there's the math. Is it 16 billion miles from Earth? 160 billion miles from Earth, 1.6 billion miles, or 160 million miles. I know it's 8:24 in the morning. So, sometimes the math brain doesn't start cooking until
I
after
can't
breakfast.
even remember the numbers you said.
Right. I was trying to carry the one.
Carry the one.
Yep, but we can have some fun during the break and make some calculations.
What's the record been like this week?
What's the record for?
The right answers.
For me and Dan?
Dan was on a roll.
He was, and then he called off for the rest.
I think you got both of them. You were close to
Okay.
yesterday's.
I was.
You were close.
All right.
Being
We'll have the answer at 9 right here on ARC Rochester. But, the story the last couple of days has been one of snow. Check out some of the spotter reports. This was 7 inches in Marion, out in Wayne County, 6 inches in Lyons. Spencerport had 3.5 inches of snow, 5 inches in Batavia. The city number was 2.9 inches. And, we start to look at the seasonal count. Of the 102 inches that we would expect to see in a given ordinary season for snowfall, we now have 3.8 inches for the season. How about that?
That's crazy.
Wow.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier. We had a storm at Thanksgiving last year on the way back from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was a storm that was southwest of Rochester. Yep, and we had lake effect up here. Yes.
But we didn't get any snow?
I think that was traditional lake snow areas like south of Buffalo.
I see, okay.
East of Rochester. We did get some snow, but we didn't get the heavy stuff. And there was a storm system that swept through like Tennessee, Ohio.
Yeah.
It went through the Mid-Atlantic.
Was it
Yeah.
already December at that point?
No, it was that was late November.
Okay.
So that wouldn't
So this is this time last year.
compared to last year. Last year,
Okay,
in the month of November, there was no snowfall. So we went the entire month without any significant accumulated snow.
Okay.
So it was it was kind of a slow starter, but we're off to a fast start this year. 35, wind gusting out there to 23 miles per hour. That southwest wind is feeding lake effect snow and lake effect rain into western New York. And with temperatures like this, it's not hard to understand why. It's still sub-freezing in Warsaw at 31. Batavia is at 35, but some of our western suburbs like Brockport just hovering right around freezing. So you see the plethora of colors here on Ultimate Doppler. The greens are the rain. The white is light snow. The darker blues are just a little bit of a bigger flake. So it's getting a higher reflectivity on the radar west of Rochester there. Over the lake, that's a steadier lake effect rain. So Buffalo is going to see maybe a half inch of rain today. Areas east of Rochester could see up to an inch of rain through Thursday afternoon, and there's the storm system back to our west. So with this kind of a setup here, there's two things: lots of clouds and frequent light precipitation. And I was hoping the sky would clear out, honestly, because you see all these pictures of the northern lights from all over the place. We had a very large solar eruption yesterday, and we're just not going to be able to see it. This is not the setup. It's not ideal. The storm system's hanging around like a bad cold, and the sky's really not going to start clearing out until probably Friday at all. So look at the map.
Yeah.
There's just no chance there. But planning forecast today has temps at least back in the low 40s. I guess that's positive. Kind of a damp and gray setup. Free car wash this afternoon for you. Get some of that salt off the car. 35 tonight. Occasional rain showers. Cloudy and damp. Could mix in a little wet snow. We'll see about that. Extended forecast has 40s, upper 20s for the overnight low there Friday. Mainly dry on Saturday, Sunday. Some showers around. And colder into early next week with high temperatures back in the upper 30s. Hard to believe the normal high is still 51 when you see a forecast like that.
And for me, 50 is like, okay, like things are going to be all right. When we're in like early spring, all I'm waiting for is for it to turn 50.
50 is a heat wave at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's amazing the difference between the seasons when you get a 50 in fall versus a 50 in the springtime.
Yeah.
I had my heaviest jacket on yesterday. I would never wear that in the springtime with temperatures in the low 30s. I was actually getting a little too warm in the car. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I couldn't say the same for myself. I had on my big jacket and the seat warmer and the heat was blasting. So,
Yep.
Do what you got to do to get through. It's going to be months.
Yeah.
yeah.
Literal months.
Plural.
All right, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you. When we come back, it is Wealth Wednesday. Why giving more this holiday season could help you in the new year.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome back to ARC Rochester. I'm Stephanie Joseph.
I'm Abby Fridmann. We are getting very close to the holiday season, and for some folks, that means it's a time for giving.
For this Wealth Wednesday, we're taking a look at charitable giving during this time of year and how it can benefit you during tax time.
We're joined now by Wealth Advisor Jarrett Felton. Jarrett, great to see you as always.
It's a pleasure to see you as well. Every day's a holiday and every meal's a feast.
Well, let's get right into that holiday season of giving.
Right. I figured it's November. I won't be back until December, so we might as well just start now.
You were saying during the commercial break, most of the giving, charitable donations, are done during the month of December, yes?
Yes, about 30% is the statistic as of right now, and 10% of that is actually the last 3 days of the calendar year in December.
Wow. Why is that, do you think?
It's a great question. To get in the minds of others has always been something I've wondered and wanted to do. But I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that, number one, by December, people know their budgets for the year, right? Whether it be individuals, whether it be institutions, millionaires, billionaires, whatever that may be. The other side of it is some people are philanthropic and want to just give, because that's the spirit of the holidays and kind of looking out for people other than self. And some people just flat out want a tax deduction. Just call it what it is. And sometimes there's people that kind of cross all three of those spectrums. So that's what I think. You know your budget, you want a tax deduction, or you really are philanthropically minded.
And what sort of deductions could people take advantage of?
Sure. So I think first and foremost, if we could just have a blank slate or blank canvas and just talk a little bit about, without getting in too much of the weeds, and we always partner with people's CPAs, certified public accountants, to do this type of planning. But we really want to make sure that people understand the difference between itemizing and taking a standard deduction when you do your tax return. So as a single filer like myself, not married, we end up having the ability to take off about $15,750 for 2025 off of our return as a standard deduction. That's without writing anything off necessarily, we just get that. And as a married filing joint household, they get $31,000, approximately $500-ish. Now, on the other side of the ledger is the itemized. So trying to stay out of the weeds here, but bear with me. If you start looking at what are the aspects that you can utilize, or what are the items you can utilize to get above that standard deduction, we're talking about your interest on your home, the amount that you do deduct or give to charities. For some people, it's medical and dental expenses that exceed 7.5% of your just gross income, and so forth. So all of these things you need to compare and contrast and figure out what makes more sense for me from a tax perspective. To take the standard deduction for a single filer or married filing joint, or if you have all of these items that equal above and beyond the standard deduction, and therefore you would normally probably want to take the higher of the two to get a bigger reduction in your income for the year. So was that in the weeds or was it above,
No, it's making sense.
Okay.
It is.
All right. And this is something that, like I said, we partner with CPAs all the time to do. We could preliminarily do that in my office as investment advisors, but we always want their blessing just to make sure that people understand what they're able to deduct and what they're not, period.
I imagine there are a lot of people out there who've made those charitable donations and have no idea that they can really get something back from it.
True. I would 100% agree with that. And, other than maybe Google searching, like I said, making sure that you talk to an investment professional, or a CPA to do so. But, funny enough, outside of just understanding standard deduction and, what goes into itemizing, there's some other strategies that people can utilize and even take advantage of an organization here locally to help facilitate. So one of them is taking a look at the concept of qualified charitable distributions. And those are for people that are 70 and a half or older, right, that have IRAs or pre-tax dollars. They can actually take deductions from their IRAs up to $108,000 for 2025 and give it to across all charities.
Wow.
Right. So I know Tom Golisano's making waves right now and he's doing fantastic things in the community, but we can also do something and carry our weight and do our part. Right. Qualified charitable distributions. That way you avoid taking taxes first, taking money out, paying taxes first, and then writing a check to the charity. It goes directly from custodian to charity. That's the first thing. All right. The next thing you can look at is donor advised funds. Now, there are organizations and institutions, we call them custodians in my world, such as Charles Schwab, Fidelity, some of the familiar names, Vanguard. But locally, we have the Rochester Area Community Foundation, who also facilitates donor advised funds. So the concept is you have the ability to make the contribution into this fund, right? You as the donor making a contribution to the fund. There are minimums and whatnot. And if you need to figure that out, you can reach out to them. But you get the deduction now, and then where those dollars go down the road, you can advise on where those dollars may go, but they also would remain in our community. And that's really the key around the Rochester Area Community Foundation. And no, I'm not on the board. No, they're not paying for me any of this. I have a lot of friends over there. But it's just something cool that I thought I found a way to kind of tie it back to home.
Yeah, excellent. Jarrett, for somebody who's interested in benefiting from your services or learning more, hit them with the socials.
Sure. So I would say, number one, go to our website, investment.com, INVESSENT. We are on LinkedIn. You can look us all up. We got Lydia at the office, always ready and willing to answer the phone and do some analysis for you. Tommy at the office too, Tommy Leroy, and then me, Jared Felton, founder of Investment. So thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time right now is 8:37. When we come back, we're going to check in again with Chris Lopez. He's giving us a tour of Habitat for Humanity's Restore over in the BayTowne Plaza. 8:40, welcome back. Prices for goods have been on the rise for quite some time now. That includes furniture.
If you're looking for a great deal on furniture and home improvement supplies, the Habitat for Humanity Restore may be a good option. Our Chris Lopez is live there for us, showing us more of what they have to offer. Hey, Chris.
Interior doors that they have for $5 to exterior ones that they have for a bit more. Trying to find the price on this one. Oh, here we go. About $175. And you may be asking, well, how much would that be brand new? Everything in here, you can pretty much double the price. So if it's $150, it would probably cost you $300, so on and so forth. They have stuff like this, which are great windows. Looks like they're brand new too. I'm here with Dan Petronio. He is the director of the Rehome stores here in the Rochester area. You guys get donations not only from retail, from people just giving up their stuff, but from also, you guys take them from businesses like that too.
We have relationships with different businesses around the area that will donate their overstocks, misorders, items like that. And as you said, we can sell them for roughly half of what you would have paid by buying it through them.
And staying on kind of with windows and doors, we're going to move to construction. And I'm probably going to get this wrong. Critical construction?
Critical home repair.
Critical home repair is the program that you guys have, which is really cool.
Yes, it's a program we started a few years ago. Habitats all over the country are doing it. We will perform critical home repairs, roofs, gutters, especially ramps for people that have mobility issues. They can apply right at our website, which for that is grhabitat.org. Fill in their information. Our repair team will review everything, contact you to get information, and if everything works out, get it scheduled for you. And it allows you to age in place, stay in your home. A lot of it is with the elderly and with a lot more disabled and with veterans these days too.
I like that program.
To help them stay where they have been for years.
Okay, and let's give everyone a broad overview of the store. This is big. I mean, we were over indoor and outdoor doors. You have the windows, and then you have living room, bedroom, office, great, dining room, great woodwork on here. Stuff pretty much going for like this, $50. Now this has a red sticker on it, and you told me that if something isn't going, you guys will reduce that cost.
Change to a green sticker in the next few days. It'll become 25% off.
25% off. So
a lot of great DIY projects with some of these things.
This one over here, man. This is probably the best thing you guys have here. This oven goes for $7,000. This is incredible. Love the switches here. I'd love this in my apartment. I'm not going to put it in my apartment at all. This goes for $6,000, $1,500 on a discount. Do you guys get if this is $1,500, it's already discounted. If a veteran like myself walks in on a Thursday, do you also tack that on too?
Yes, the discount for the veterans and the first responders is in addition to the current price.
I'm done. I'm sending it back to you guys in the studio. Check this place out. It's the Webster location, Canandaigua, Henrietta. I mean, we didn't even get to the couches, man. This is incredible. Look at this couch here. Nice sectional.
Yeah.
$225. I'm going to end the hit out just taking a seat.
That's beautiful. It really is. And all of this stuff is such good quality, too. You're not seeing any particle board or anything like that. It really is solid wood, which is excellent news.
Good quality.
And it keeps it out of a landfill.
Yes, it does.
I do want to point that out. Keeps what would go into a landfill out of a landfill, because this would probably be near a garbage can in my apartment complex, because we already have a chair that's there. So it keeps it out of a landfill. It's great stuff.
Hey, Chris, if I Venmo you, will you pick up that stove for me? You know, the really, really expensive one? I'm good for it, I swear.
Yeah, it just got marked up to $3,000. So if you Venmo me $3,000, I'll make sure that I get this for you.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. You buy it first, and then I'll pay you. We'll be good.
Thank you, Chris.
He's not on board. It's all right. Hey, coming up next, it is this week's Crime Stoppers. The Rochester Fire Department is going to tell us more as they investigate an arson from earlier this year.
8:47, the men and women of the Rochester Fire Department work hard to keep families in the city safe. And for this week's Crime Stoppers, we're getting a look at their investigation into an arson that happened earlier this year.
Yeah, 2 incidents happened at the same home. This happened back in August and September, and the fire department needs your help finding those responsible.
We're joined now by Lieutenant Jackie Sierra from the department with more on this. If you could just kind of walk us through some of the background with this case.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having us. Anytime we can ask for the public's help, we truly appreciate that, especially for cases like this. So as you mentioned, we had 2 incidents that occurred at the same location. It's a residential home on Durnan Street off of Hudson Avenue. The first occurred on August 18th around 9 p.m. The resident was home with his family at the time and heard a noise. And upon investigation, went outside the front door and found that the front door, the siding near the front door and the front yard was on fire. He was able to get his young daughter out, call 911, and we were able to quickly extinguish the fire. About a month later, we have the same similar incident happen. This is the video that we actually provided. We see 2 individuals walking up to the home. You see an ignition, right, the light, and then they ran off. On that circumstance, there was damage to the side of the home.
Wow.
Yeah. You can definitely see that the light there and how it flashed. Is there any idea as to whether anyone knew each other, the suspects in this case and the person in the home?
So right now we do believe that it is targeted, but we're still trying to find out who the suspects are, which is why we need the help of the public for this.
It looks like, an explosion, honestly. Was there some kind of accelerant used or something like that to make it start and engulf in flames so quickly?
Absolutely. So during the investigation, they did confirm that accelerant was used. Gasoline was used for both incidents. Which, again, people are home. There's a young child in the home. And I always like to bring this up. Just last year, we had a fatal fire that the circumstances were very similar. An accelerant was used near a point of egress or entry, and that resulted in a fatal fire last year. So we take this seriously, and we need the public's help for this.
And just a quick follow-up to that. An accelerant was used. Was it on a rag and thrown? Was it dumped around and on the house? How was it used?
It was poured, yep.
Poured,
So poured
okay.
and ignited, yes.
Okay.
And when it came to both of the incidents, the suspects, they took off in the same direction?
Correct. So from what we know, they headed west towards Hudson, and then once they got on Hudson, headed south. So.
Okay. And we had the surveillance camera there. Has there been any cooperation from those in the neighborhood with Ring doorbell or any other kind of security system that has been able to guide you?
Yep. So we were fortunate enough that there is a store right on the corner of that street. So we did get surveillance from there. We talked to the neighbors. We talked to the resident. We're still in communication with the resident now. And we're just looking for anybody that saw either people running away, entering a car. Sometimes we see things and at the moment we're like, oh, that was weird. And we never think about it again until we make information public and then people recall. The other thing is that people talk. Mm-hmm. So, whether it's a friend or family, if you heard any instance that someone that may be related, please call Crime Stoppers.
Very good.
I'm wondering if you know how the family, the father and daughter, are doing after 2 separate incidents like this.
Yep. So they are still in the home. They are, a little disturbed because when you go to sleep at night, that is your safe haven. You want to rest. You want to kind of shut the world out. Mm-hmm. And now they have to constantly worry on, whether this will happen again or just that trauma of those incidents occurring.
And both of these happened late at night, just a month or so apart from one another. Is there anything else that you've learned that is significant that you think people should know?
I would just say, honestly, keep an eye out. Be vigilant for your neighbors and your home. Cameras always help. And, again, be vigilant and talk to each other.
Very good. Lieutenant Jackie Sierra, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. And as always, if you have any information, call the Crime Stoppers hotline, 423-9300.
When we come back, our friends at Spatchcock Funk head into the kitchen to make some crawfish artichoke dip. That's on the other side of the break.
ready to dip with spatchcock funk? Today we're making one of our all-time favorites, crawfish artichoke dip. Now, you ain't got to use the crawfish if you don't want to. This can be vegetarian, you can put shrimp in there, but we like crawfish, sometimes called crayfish, because this fish is cray. What you do is get a couple pounds of it, but we're gonna use 1 pound in this. How you get the tail out is take this beautiful guy right here, twist the tail out, you can suck some of the head, and then you just pull it out of the tail, and now you got your tail, right? This is the protein that we love, the little flavor in there. So we've got our crawfish in there. The other star of this dish, artichoke hearts, right? So get a can, 10-ounce can, you need 2 of them. Drain them, chop them, put them in a mixing bowl. So this recipe actually comes from a coworker from my father-in-law, may he rest in peace. And he loved this dish, he loved her. So if you're gonna make this, make it only for people you love. If there's someone you kind of like and they ask you to make it, be like, nah, I'm gonna make you something else. And they can start packing their stuff. So after you got the 2 cans of artichokes, we put 1 cup of mayonnaise into this thing, okay? Then 1 cup of finely grated Parmesan cheese. Next, a pound of chopped crawfish tails, getting all cray in it. 3 cups shredded mozzarella. About a ½ tablespoon of minced garlic. And then stir it up, baby. Like Bobby and the Whalers, stir it up. Take a greased pie pan. Then we're just gonna slide it all in. Then pat it all the way across so you get it even touching the sides of your greased pan. Then the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take some breadcrumbs and we're gonna coat it with breadcrumbs all the way across. This gives a little crunch, the creaminess, a little salty flavor too with the other beautiful things. So once we've got that good and covered with the breadcrumbs, take some dried parsley for some color, put that across it. Then in the oven at 350 for 1 hour. We dip, you dip, let's all dip. This is where it's at. Look at this cheesy, creamy goodness. Got that crawfish, got that artichoke, got all that cheese. Man, on some crostinis, ain't nothing better. Crawfish artichoke dip, spatchcock funk.
Wednesday morning, November 12th. Thanks for sticking with us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. Dan is off. Welcome back to ARC. We've got a lot to get to this morning, but we want to get a look at the forecast and, of course, the answer to today's weather trivia.
Yeah, the forecast is one that's a little, it feels like it's a little early, doesn't it? For this kind of sustained cold.
Yeah, it does.
Like you get 1 or 2 days, but it usually doesn't last like 3, 4-ish.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't seen the sun in a very long time.
It's been a while, and one of my favorite sayings, November means no sunshine. Okay, I'm uplifting today.
Well, we asked when you came into the studio, we
Yeah.
said, what kind of mood are we in today? And you said,
Undecided.
I can't tell yet.
Undecided. Still undecided. I love outer space, though, and there's been lots of outer space stuff.
You should go there.
Speaking of escaping this world, the Voyager 1 space satellite, which was launched back in the 70s, is now 1 light day from Earth this week. How far away is that in miles? Now, light speed, again, was 186,200 miles per second.
Okay.
And that gives you quite a bit of time. You go back to the 1977, I believe,
Look,
is when it went.
I'm going to be totally real with you here. I
Straight
can't
up
even
guess?
I can't even count that high. Like you're saying the numbers and I'm trying to picture the zeros and it's just not even.
What do you think, Steph?
Why not go with C?
Did we have any respondents up there? We did. Ooh, let's see. Maybe they got the right answer.
Fingers crossed.
It's
There's a core group that's always.
Drum roll, please.
Oh.
Here we go. All right, so 13wham.com/chime in. And wait a second.
Why did we show
That board
that?
ran out of order. Cheryl, Scott, B, Julie, and Eva have C, Mary, Rod, and Lisa all have A.
Okay.
So we're kind of all over it. Frank
We're
and Barbara.
all over
It's all over. So it does. There's a calculation involved here, right?
There were more A's and B's, though.
Yeah. Where do we go? Final answer?
I'll go B.
B?
I guess I'll stick with C.
C? It is A.
Wow.
16 billion miles away. Can you believe that?
No.
16 billion of anything, right? That's a lot.
How long did it take for Voyager to get there?
So from 1977
Okay.
to right now.
1977.
So that takes it back, 48 years.
Yeah.
It's been in outer space for 48 years. It's still functioning too, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Built to last, I guess. Projections suggest the milestone will be reached around the 15th. So the satellite is expected to remain operational until the 2030s. Still getting data back from that probe. Still getting data from little Ivy here too.
Little sweetie.
I think the data is, I can't, there's 2 photos. I think we like snow. Do we like snow?
Maybe undecided.
Undecided,
Like,
okay.
Ivy looks maybe little, like
Yeah.
we're still pretty young. We're still figuring out snow.
Indy is not a fan of snow. 100%, I can tell you that. Okay, like none. 0.
Really?
Nothing.
Right back inside.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got her in December.
I know, and she wasn't a fan then either. I have a feeling I'm going to be shoveling the yard. Towel time today, just because of the melt and additional light lake effect rain. It's just been sloppy out there. And tomorrow, still some wet paws. Starts to dry out Friday, Saturday for us, and then we'll get back to some wet paws for Sunday. So it's an outlook that does dry out towards the end of the week. Looks like you can reach up and grab the clouds out there today. That's the lake effect process in full play. 2,300 foot cloud height, 9-mile visibility, 35-degree temperature, and wind chill in the 20s. I know. Usually we don't go there in November for wind chill temps, but that is the case today. We have a little bit of a mix showing up on radar west of Rochester. You get closer to Buffalo. This is coming down mainly in the form of rainfall, but still cold enough for a few spots west of town that we still do have some light lake effect snow coming down. We don't expect much in the way of accumulation at all, but as temperatures are above freezing, but nonetheless still showing up. That weather system right there means that the clouds are going to hang around pretty much for the rest of this week on the futurecast. There's just not a lot of breaks out there. Still just occasional rain. Watch Wayne County. This is lake effect rain, thankfully, because there could be a good bit of it, especially in central and eastern parts of the county there. It never really gives up until later Thursday, so some of those spots are going to get a real soaking rain out of this. So I guess that's the positive of all this. We're still in a moderate drought in western New York, and this is really going to help put another dent in that drought. Watch Sodus and Wolcott there, some of those rain amounts upwards of an inch as we head through the next 24 hours. Not enough to be a cause for concern for flooding, but certainly, that's the kind of thing that could dampen a basement that gets wet in the springtime. But forecast today, plan on keeping those showers around low 40s. It's a damp and gray day tonight. You may see a few wet flakes mixing in with some rain showers. 35-degree low, west wind at 10 to 20, and 7-day forecast has us drying out for Friday. I am looking forward to that. I still have some things to do outside on Saturday. And, get rid of the pumpkins, all the fall decorations have got to come down and all that. You get a neighbor next door's got the Christmas up already.
Really?
So am I slow? Is this like...
No.
But the holidays are creeping up quickly.
They are.
Thanksgiving is usually my go-to for that.
Yes.
Yeah?
That weekend.
Yeah, that weekend? Okay.
Yeah. We've been really bad too about getting down all our Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, like the big Halloween
Inside or
stuff.
outside?
Both.
Both, okay.
We have our dining room right now. We cleaned out my grandpa's house, and our dining room is filled with furniture and stuff like that. And we have been really bad about putting it away because the schedules have been crazy.
Yeah.
And we were doing stuff in the dining room, and my husband looks up and he goes, "We still have cobwebs on the chandelier from Halloween." And it's been 12 days now. I'm like, they might just stay up for Christmas.
Leave 'em, yeah.
I got to get the ladder out. I got to get back up there.
You can hang some ornaments from the cobwebs.
There we go.
There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I
There you go.
like that. Good thinking. Good thinking.
Make icicles, little icicles maybe,
Yeah.
instead of, off the
Okay.
cobwebs.
Yeah.
Interior designer.
There you go.
Mark
I know.
McLean.
Or I could get a really tall friend who lives nearby to come get the cobwebs down so that I don't have to get the ladder.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
I'll see if he's available.
Hey, coming up, the Rochester Hearing and Speech Center is taking us back to the 80s. We're going to talk about that after the break.
We'll get ready for a blast to the past this weekend with a fundraiser taking partygoers to the 80s. The event raising money for the Rochester Hearing and Speech Center.
Yeah, the center is Monroe County's longest-standing nonprofit provider of hearing health. And here to talk more about the event is the center's president and CEO, Bob Russell. Bob, always great to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me in.
We were just talking about what a success this 80s party has been in previous years. For somebody who's unfamiliar, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's just a night to take people back to what I thought was the greatest decade. Of course, right? For music, for fashion, for movies, the 80s were so iconic. And it gives us a chance just to go and have a good time. People obviously come dressed in their favorite 80s fashions, which always makes it fun just to people watch and see what everybody comes up with and just, you know, how creative they are. And at the end of it, it's a fundraiser for our agency, but we want it to be a fun night for everybody. So, you know, we've got live music with the Breakfast Club, 80s Tribute Band this year. We've got our guest hosts, Scott Pizzano and Sandy Waters, your friends from 98.9 The Buzz. Dr. Michael Mendoza is our guest VJ once again. So there's so much happening throughout the course of the night that I think that's what draws people to come back. And we see a lot of new people coming in as they're hearing about the event and know they can just let loose for a night.
That is for sure. We're taking a look at some video, and it really does look like a party, a whole lot of fun. I want to talk a little bit more about, you know, what this fundraiser helps with.
Really what it is to help support the programs and the services that the agency provides. So we're talking everything from early intervention services for children, educational clinical services, so children with developmental and learning disabilities, all the way through every age group and seniors that are dealing with hearing loss. And I think, you know, especially, you know, times right now are a little unsettling for a lot of people. Whether they have insurance, they don't have insurance, you know, funding that's being held up. This type of event is what helps us to be able to continue providing these services without people feeling that they're having to take a break from getting the help that they really need.
And I imagine that when somebody starts to develop hearing or vision loss, or maybe they find out their child has a problem with their vision or with their hearing, it must be absolutely terrifying to come to that realization. The center, I'm sure, kind of soothes a lot of those worries and concerns.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're catching people at their most vulnerable moments, right? So especially with children, a lot of parents might not know. They know something might be off, but they're not quite sure what. So really, we're not only dealing with the client itself, but we're also dealing with the family, because whether it's a child with a learning disability, or it's, you know, a senior who's, you know, experiencing hearing loss, memory loss potentially, the families don't know what to do. So we're able to really help to educate them as well, and also connect them with other people so they realize you're not in this alone. And I think that's where the care and the compassion part comes in, you know, for us, and why it's so important. After, you know, 103 years, there's been a lot of people that have come through our doors, and it's amazing to see the people that maybe came to us as children that are now seniors, and they're coming back, you know. So, you know, we're really 3 generations is who we serve right now of families, and it's an amazing experience to see the difference. So, you know, when people come out to the fundraiser, they're having a good time, but we also let them know that they're really making an impact for people that are in need right now. And this year we also have a special guest appearance coming up that I should mention.
Okay.
You're going to go, we need to be there.
Yeah.
We have a replica of the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future.
What?
And I'm talking, this thing is identical. It's got all the lights, it smokes, everything. So our friends at West Her Automotive helped us sponsor this to bring it in, so people have a chance to get their picture taken with the DeLorean time machine.
That is so cool. So they can have their picture taken with it. You know, that memory I'm sure will last a lifetime. They get to help out an amazing cause in the process, and, you know, take a walk down memory lane too.
Yeah, and that's the funnest part. A lot of people will tell stories, you know, those of us that were around back in the 80s. But I think it's just a night for people just to let loose a little bit and have a great time. So.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming in today. For somebody interested in stopping by, how do they get tickets? What do they need to know?
Yeah, so it's Saturday night, November 15th at Eagle Vale Golf Club. Starts at 7 o'clock. People can order tickets on rhsc.org, our website, and we'll take orders right up until. But if people just decide last minute, you know what, I want to go check it out, they can walk up that night and we'll be able to take care of them. So.
Very good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks
and
for
we
having
will
me.
post that, of course, on foxrochester.com.
Time right now is 9:14. Stick around. We will be right back.
(9:18) this morning. It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. As the government shutdown continues, several projects continue to be impacted as they face a lack in federal funding. One of those projects is for the town of Bethany to create a new water district following months of a dry spell. The Genesee County town was granted $5 million in state funding, but because of the shutdown, the project had to be paused. I'm joined now by Town Supervisor Carl Hyde Jr. with more on the impact. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for joining me. I want to start first by putting things into perspective for viewers. There are two phases of this project, and right now, is it phase 2 that's being held up?
Yes, phase 2 is being held up, awaiting the approval by the USDA so we can go out to bid.
And tell us a little bit about what the different phases look like. So phase 1, what happened there, and what needs to happen for phase 2 to move forward?
Phase 1 is the first section of Water District 5 in the town of Bethany, where we will construct the main artery line coming into the town and construction of a water tower. So that project, phase 1, is being funded by a WIA grant from the state of New York, and phase 2 is all the branched off water lines from the main line for the residents in the different areas of the town, which is funded by USDA, a USDA loan.
And if I'm not mistaken, 2026, around that time, was expected to be when the entire project was supposed to be wrapped up. Is that correct?
Late 26, early 27.
So what does timeline sort of look like now with this delay from the shutdown?
I'm not sure. So now we're waiting on the federal government to reopen the USDA so we can get our approval to go out to bid, which we expected to have at the 1st of October. So the longer the federal government is shut down, the longer it's going to take to keep the process rolling. Water District 5 is a project that we've been working hard on since 2015.
And I'm wondering, is there any sense of urgency when it comes to residents, especially with some of the dry spells that we've seen coming off of some of the drought that we've also seen in the area?
Yes, currently we're at 109 residents that I know of that have reached out to me that are still without water. All our dairy farms are without water from their wells. They're hauling water. So, one of the dairy farms had to invest in a tanker truck. So he had to go buy a tanker truck. He's got one guy that works 10 hours a day doing nothing but hauling water for the dairy cows.
And for anyone at home who's trying to understand when it comes to making those changes or adjusting, especially when it comes to water, what does the timeline sort of look for people when it comes to, let's say, a week from now? Are they going to be facing some real issues?
The ones that are without water, for the most part, have gone back to basics. They've gone out, they've purchased a tote. They're going to one of the local towns and filling that up, hauling the water in. But I mean, you have to take into consideration your water usage in your home. You've got adults that need to bathe. You have children that need to bathe. You have to wash dishes. You have to wash clothes. You have to water your pets. So when you do not have the basic essentials of water, life becomes pretty miserable. You get really tired of eating off of paper plates, going to other people's houses to shower, to do laundry. Your expenses actually go up because you're buying water, you're buying time in a washing machine at a laundromat. So not having the water in your home, it's nerve-wracking. I lived through it. I know what these people are going through. My wife and I had to have 3 wells dug at our residence before I eventually got public water. So we had 2 small children. So you're half living at home.
Yeah, it's certainly something that's not sustainable. Has there been any communication from the USDA about if the government shutdown does end in the coming days, next week, for example, that they would be able to restart things quickly?
There's nobody to talk to at the USDA because that government office is shut down. It has been.
Is there any cautious optimism about how things are moving forward right now, what we've seen with things advancing to the House?
I'm hopeful, but I've been hopeful since day one of the water project that it's coming. Hopefully it'll be here soon. But every time I turn around, there's a government issue, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I hope they get moving. They need to. It's something where residents were going to expect to have water this summer. Mm-hmm. Now it may not be till fall. Or it may not be till this time next year. The longer the federal government is on vacation, the worse it is for tax-paying residents of Bethany and other communities, actually.
Well, it's certainly something that we'll be keeping an eye on very closely and, of course, hoping for the best. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, stick around. We're back after this.
6:26. Welcome back to ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. Tomorrow night, the Flower City is celebrating 50 years of the Time Warp and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, with none other than the man behind the iconic Brad Majors, Barry Bostwick.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to chat with him all about the movie and its impact on the world of cinema. Take a look. We're excited to have you coming to Rochester to celebrate the 50th anniversary Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tell us a little bit about your feelings as you get ready to come to the Flower City.
Well, I've always been looking forward to this tour that we've done this year. And you guys are the last stop on a 30-city tour. And I got to tell you, we're warmed up. We know what we're doing. I mean, we just throw a party, and we have costume contests and VIP kinds of meet and greets, and we have virgin ceremonies, and we have all kinds of things where they get prop bags and they get to throw and yell and do everything that they can't do when they're in the office.
They can't do when they're in the office. What is it, do you think, that makes people of all ages, of all backgrounds, love Rocky Horror?
The music, I think. First of all, I think it's the music. It's rock and roll. I mean, it was originally thought of more like a rock and roll concert on film, with some interesting, well, I'll say interesting characters surrounding it. But I think people come back for the music. And I think they come back because they see something on film, on screen, that they maybe have never witnessed in their life in terms of choices, And I think there's a lot of people, when they're younger, their eyes are open to possibilities in their lives. The whole thing of don't dream it, be it, which is our moniker. I think they see that there's a lot of more to dream, and they could perhaps be more than what they thought they were capable of or doing in life, not just from a personal standpoint, because it's a sexy movie, but we call it a naughty movie. It's just naughty. Where it gets a little not naughty is more in the audience, because it's really an audience show now. They've taken over. We're background to the audience's craziness.
I love that. And taking a look at an interview that you did, and they sent it out to us, you're talking about how Rocky Horror changed your lives, and you said, Janet, I've made nerds cool. Tell us a little bit about what you meant by that.
Well, I mean, that before 50 years ago, guys with pens in their pockets and, science majors and everything, didn't, they weren't thought of as sort of sexy guys or guys who could be a catch, and I think in this instance, a lot of people say to me, well, hey, Brad's my favorite character in this. And I go, are you sure? Are you really sure? Because he's really the plainest, most identifiable person in it. And I always say that I would have wanted to play somebody else, afterwards. Who doesn't want to be Frankenfurter, the character that is a little bit of everything, and mostly mean, and mostly a dark fellow. But nerds, yeah, the guys who play me, and guys and girls who play me in Shadowcast, they're always they're the nerdiest people, and it works out great for them because they don't want to do all that other shenanigans. Oh, there's a word, shenanigans.
I relate a lot to Brad and to the nerds, so I'm completely on board. I'm straight edge. I mean, I like rules, and I usually have a pen ready. Oh, yeah. Also.
Yeah. So you'd play Brad.
I would. Yes.
Yes, you would. I'll send you a patch for your jacket that says Denton High School class of '63, and you can be Brad in Rochester.
Perfect. Excellent. Looking ahead to the anniversary and to your stop here in Rochester, your final stop, you'll be showing the movie, performing scenes from the movie live on stage while the full unedited film is shown behind. What does the full unedited film look like?
Well, Disney just redid it in 4K, so it is brilliant. I mean, you see everything. We see things in it that we didn't even know we had filmed, because it's so clear and crisp, and the sound is so deep and warm. And unedited, well, there's only one thing that's not been put back in, and that's a song that I did that was cut called "Once in a While," because it slows the whole movie down. And sometimes during these shows, if I'm pushed hard enough, I might sing a little bit of it on stage. If I've had enough tequila before the show.
Okay, all right. So long story short is, you're going to need a bottle in your dressing room if people really want to.
It's in my contract.
Okay, very good, very good. What is your message to folks who are going to be coming out to see the show, who have maybe never seen Rocky Horror before, but are thinking this is probably the best opportunity to do so?
Well, it's the best opportunity always is with a shadow cast when you get the whole thing, you get the whole evening, but don't expect to be able to hear the movie. A lot of people for the first time go, but wait a minute, everybody's yelling around me and throwing stuff, and I can't see or hear the movie. And so my suggestion is, if you're really interested in the movie, which you should be because it's a brilliant film, see it on a Blu-ray before, and then realize that what you're coming to is another whole edition of what Rocky Horror Community and the club is like, and what the celebration. It's really just a celebration in the evening that we do, and but again, you're not going to be able to see the movie most of the time. So don't walk away going, well, what was that?
Do your research beforehand.
Yeah. And know that you're getting into something that is antisocial in a way. It's social in its own society.
Very good. Very good. All these years later, 50 years later, it's still a success. It is still, it's a cult classic.
Right.
What is the difference between Rocky Horror Picture Show 50 years ago and some of the other content that is being put out today?
Wow. I think we're just, I think we are, we're one of a kind. We are a one-off. We are something that will never be reproduced. The whole experience of the Rocky Horror Picture Show could never be. People have tried to reproduce it and try to generate a fan base, artificially, and it's never worked. I mean, because you have to realize that Rocky Horror was a flop when it came out, and then it started doing the midnight circuit, and it was discovered by the fans, and it was created by the fans, and is now exists because of the fans. And what well I Jaws, it's 50th anniversary of Jaws this year, and I think that Jaws, the message of Jaws is don't go back in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Rocky Horror's message is go back in the water, have a little fun, give yourself over to absolute pleasure for one night and maybe your lifetime. We're a small movie with a big message.
Very good. One night or maybe forever. Barry Bostwick, thank you so much for your time today. Really, really appreciate it. And again, coming to the West-Her Auditorium Theater November 13th. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. Thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you. Come dressed up as Brad.
Yes, as Brad. I'm on it.
You're my
Thank
Brad.
you. Take care.
Thank you.
Really cool interview. I had a great time talking with Barry. And I'm glad that we established that I am, in fact, a Brad. I always knew it deep down in my heart of hearts. But, you know, it means something else coming from the original.
Yeah, you're the Brad.
Yes. All right, coming up on the other side of the break, how Brickstone by St. John's is connecting caregivers with music.
We're back after this.
(9:40), welcome back. Happening tomorrow, Brickstone by St. John's is giving caregivers and their supporters an afternoon of joy and inspiration with a little bit of music therapy.
There will be performances and music-making sessions, and it's all free. Here to tell us more about it is the program director of the Encore Chorus, Michael Anderson, and Tom Harner, assistant director of marketing at St. John's. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
So tell us a little bit about some of the benefits that come with a program like this.
November is National Family Caregiver Month, so that's kind of a big piece of this. And for the past few years, St. John's, we've partnered with Lifespan and Nazareth University, their gerontology program, and this year, music therapy. We've really taken a focus on music for caregivers, a lot of benefits for caregivers and those who support them. And that's how we kind of got connected with Encore Chorus. Supporting caregivers is really a team effort. So we have a team of experts and organizations ready to help caregivers and show them a good time.
Let's talk a little bit about Encore Chorus as well, and also how this whole partnership kind of came to be.
Sure. So the Encore Chorus is an initiative of the Eastman Community Music School, allied with the Eastman School of Music. It's about 2 years old, and we bring persons living with dementia and their caregivers together into a musical idea, an organization that stresses, of course, singing and also connection through social partnership.
Very good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what kind of is the response, whether it's the performers themselves kind of delivering this service or maybe the people that are receiving?
So we have a wonderful team of volunteers that joins with the pairs that come in to sing with us. They have been enriched by this experience, but of course the participants themselves, those who register, are finding that their symptoms are sort of holding off, and that there's this little afterglow that even after singing, maybe even for a whole week, they're playing through the songs in their head and enjoying that spirit and ready to come back.
That really, it's so special, and I'm sure it brings so much joy. I want to talk briefly, if we can, about caregivers and how they are unsung heroes for family members, for loved ones, and they deserve to be recognized and they deserve to be appreciated, yes?
Yes, absolutely. They do. If you look across the country, even locally, just so much unpaid care through family members and their, friends and other supporters. They're doing the bulk of this work at home, caring for their loved ones, and many of them aren't professionals. Most of them aren't. So they're kind of learning as they go. So, our St. John, we try and support them as best as we can through online resources and respite programs, and again, partnering with others in the community to help that and help, lighten their load.
Yeah. And I feel like music therapy is something that's being talked about a bit more. Where did the inspiration for this come from?
On our end, we've done caregiver programs in the past. They've been more kind of presentations. We wanted something a little more fun, a little more inspiring, and just on my end, working throughout our communities, each one of our 3 communities has a chorus, has a choir, and you can see really, if you're looking for inspiration, that's the place to go, because you see folks who don't necessarily always, in some cases, communicate all that well without music, but you see their face light up, you see them engaged. And we've seen that with the Encore Chorus too. I've seen a couple of their performances, and it's really something.
Yeah.
We have less than 30 seconds left, so I want to get this information out there for somebody interested in getting involved, stopping by, seeing all of the great things happening between this partnership. How can they do so?
Sure. So it's tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. at Brickstone by St. John's. It's on Elmwood Avenue. You can take a look at our website, stjohnsliving.org/music, 760-1440, to find out all about what we have going on.
Very good. Right. Thank you both so much for coming in today.
You.
We greatly appreciate it. And of course, all of that information will go over on foxrochester.com.
Coming up, a couple of trending stories filling your feed this morning.
We're back after this.
9:47, welcome back. Let's jump right into some of the trending stories filling your feed.
All right, let's take a look. Up first, a little bit of nostalgia this Wednesday morning. Pixar releasing its latest trailer that'll have some 90s and early 2000s kids pretty excited. Take a look.
Bonnie, there's a package for you. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart.
Oh, thank you. Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Well, there it is. The first teaser trailer for Toy Story 5.
Yeah, Jeez. All right, slated for theatrical release June 19th of next year. It sets up a plot around a new tech toy called Lilypad, probably going to cause some issues for the other toys in that. It's not Andy anymore. Who?
No.
I can't remember I've never seen any of them past like Toy Story 2, but the new little kid that has the toys.
It's like a little girl, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Bonnie. Yes.
There we go.
Just keep going.
Most of the original cast is set to return, like Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack as Woody, Buzz, and Jessie.
Yeah, some new cast members include Conan O'Brien as a toilet training tech toy called Smarty Pants.
Okay. The movie asks the question, is the age of toys over?
That's okay. So I think it's so interesting. You see everywhere you go, kids have little tablets and iPads, and they're probably not iPads, but you know what I mean, those tablets of sorts.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems like the iPad is going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
But you can't make assumptions here. But that is what it seems like.
Yeah, this was a complete shock to see a new Toy Story. I thought after the last one that they were done, but I always welcome another Toy Story. Yeah, like growing up, the leapfrog, the animated pen on the actual device. It wasn't an iPad, but it was just something you could write on and it could talk to you. That was the big thing. So I can only imagine how the toys are feeling, but it was just like Lotso. I think that was his name, the strawberry-scented teddy bear. Who actually turned out to be a bad guy, but it takes some time to get around to new toys.
I've missed many chapters here, I fear. I feel super out of the game. Like there were toys in there that I think were regulars and I didn't even recognize them. But
yeah, they kind of look a bit different because, Rex, he looks the same, but, just a bit different in terms of features, more modern.
Yeah, I loved the Slinky Dog.
Yes.
He was like my favorite.
And wise.
Yes, yes. All right, hey, moving on to our next story. We've all heard the song, I'm Gonna Be, by the Proclaimers, the one where the band proudly says that they would walk 500 miles and then they would walk 500 more. One American couple, though, is doing just that and then a little more.
All right, Paige and Torrin Rouse are on a mission to walk 12,000 miles across all 50 states, and they're more than halfway there.
Wow. So according to their Facebook, they have walked 6,727 miles in 28 states.
Now, originally, the pair wanted to see America's beauty, but has turned it into a mission to connect a divided country.
Take a listen.
Some days you walk through the rain, some days you talk to over 100 people. You never know what you're going to get. It's all about training the mind and showing people what we're capable, how much we can change our perspective to be happier, to be more resilient, to be more loving and less judgmental.
Yeah, well, right now they are making their way through California from the Canadian border to Mexico.
Looking ahead at their website, they have not made it to New York State, and they're relying on donations to get through their journey.
Yeah, safe journey for sure over here. Their social media is filled with stories of meeting people on their walks, strangers, letting them stay in their home, and giving them a meal.
Yeah, I would say try to get to New York sooner rather than later before all that snow happens. They say the interactions they've had have restored their faith in humanity.
It sounds like it.
You'd have to have some really good shoes. I mean, pairs of shoes, pairs and pairs of them, without a doubt. Can you imagine, though, after like, I don't know, mile 500, your calves would probably be
I'm feeling it.
on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But, the dedication is there. And I wonder what route they will take if you pass through Rochester.
Yeah,
Stop
come
by.
on over. We'd love to say hi. All right, moving on to our next story. Here's a question. Would you spend $10 million on a purse?
Well, the original Jane Birkin bag was just sold for a little more than $10 million at Sotheby's auction in Paris earlier this year and was unveiled in Japan overnight.
According to Fashion Lore, the bag was created when actress Jane Birkin sat next to an Hermes executive on a flight she told him that she needed a stylish yet functional bag as a young mother.
The bag was bought by the company Valuant Japan, which is a buyer of secondhand luxury goods.
It plans to display the bag in museums and does not want to resell it.
The bag will be on display in Tokyo from November 19th to the 24th.
Listen, if I had $10 million, I wouldn't be buying a $10 million bag.
Yeah.
I'd probably, I don't know, do something different with it. But I can't justify spending more than like $50.
Yeah.
If that.
I know that a lot of celebrities have gotten their young daughters Birkins as kind of like a way to show early investment. You have a luxury item like this that could be worth a lot later on. So I don't know if it's necessarily a value thing, showing them the value of money, but maybe having them be introduced to this world of wealth early on.
Look, you're shoving your junk in it. My purse is a disaster. Maybe if I spent that kind of money, I'd be a little more careful, but I don't know. All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, our final thoughts this Wednesday morning.
We'll see you after this. It is time for our final thoughts.
What are your thoughts, Steph? You've been very quiet today, and I hate to break it to you, but Dan's off the rest of the week, so.
I thought I was stepping it up in terms of being vocal. I don't know. I would say the day went by.
Yeah. It's a Wednesday, is what you're trying to say. It's a very Wednesday.
Yeah. Monday felt like a Thursday to me, so I've been off all week.
Off a couple of days?
Yeah, a little bit.
A few weeks back, I was off a day for an entire week.
How'd that feel?
Thought it was the next day for like the entire week, but.
November is one of the worst months out
It was
there,
after the
I'll
clock
say
change. It was that day after the clock changed, and for some reason I had in my mind it was a Tuesday.
I don't know. None of it makes sense.
No.
All right, so that does it for us this morning here on ARC Rochester. We are happy that you woke up with us, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow morning for all sorts of news starting at 4:57 on 13 WHAM ABC.
We've also got much more live local news coming up later. Me and Mark for 13 WHAM News at midday. See you then.